Bodhi from the Dartmouth Student Wellness Center here to bring you a sequence that's all about giving our body some movement, giving us a little bit more energy. This is particularly good if you've been hard at work for several hours, sitting in one place, and you just need to bring a little bit more movement and energy into your body and into your life. So, to begin, you might want to grab some yoga blocks if you have them on hand. Many of us don't. So something just like paper towels or empty shoe boxes could also be a handy support to have by your side as we go through this practice. So take your time, pause the video, and come back as you're ready. And as you're ready, I'll invite us all to come into just a comfortable standing position, and maybe you bring your feet about hip distance apart and align them in two straight lines. And just playing with the weight in your feet for a moment, lifting and spreading your toes and rooting down through all four corners of your feet. So as we root down with the bottoms of our feet, sending our energy towards the earth, beginning to balance that energy going down by lengthening out through the crown of your head, lengthening the spine, so growing a little taller. And then balancing that upward energy by softening the tops of our shoulders, relaxing our jaw between our eyes, and maybe even turning our palms open slightly. And it might feel nice to let your eyelids close as we begin here. And allowing yourself to transition from where you just were before you stepped onto your mat to being present here as best as you can, letting go of to-do lists, of plans, of expectations, of worries, and allow yourself to settle and soften into this sense of being. Opening to life as it's unfolding by tuning in to sensations we hear. Right now I'm hearing a hummingbird flying by. And what are you hearing wherever you are? The sensations you feel in your body. Allowing these present moment experiences to anchor us in the here and now. And I'll offer that up as an intention for the rest of this brief practice. To be present, to tap into the anchor of body sensations, of sounds, and of your breath, to give you a break from all the time traveling we do in our minds. Taking 3 deep breaths. As you exhale, allowing that exhale to carry away tensions, worries, anywhere other than here. Inhaling a sense of presence, of awareness, of calm. Exhaling whatever doesn't serve you. And on this next inhale, inhaling more space as you press in through the ground and spread your arms up overhead. Perhaps your eyes open if they were closed. And as you exhale, drawing your palms together down at your heart center. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, pressing through the feet, rooting to rise, lifting through the gaze, lifting your chin. Exhaling, hands down through heart center. 1 more time just like that. Inhale, pressing down through your feet, spreading your arms as you reach up towards the sky, allowing the tops of the shoulders to remain soft. And exhaling your hands all the way down through heart center 1 more time. And inhale, releasing your palms down by your side. And then inhale, letting the left arm reach long as you reach the right arm up and over, just coming into a side stretch, letting that left arm dangle heavy as you reach the right side of your hip towards the right, arching the body. Chin might feel best looking down or forward, or maybe even looking up as you draw the shoulder blades on your back, pressing equally through both feet. And then inhaling, pressing through the feet, lifting the left arm to meet the right. Exhale, softening the shoulders down. Inhale, letting the right arm hang heavy now. And as you press equally through both feet, lifting up out of the waist to come into the side stretch. Letting the left hip reach towards the left side of the room if you're in a room. And then reaching with your left fingertips as you let the shoulders stay heavy and soft. Rooting down particularly with the inner edge of that right foot. And then pressing down through both feet as you inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhale to bend through the elbows, cactusing your arms, so you look kind of like a cactus. I just have a fly biting me. I'm going to rub that off. And then as we pause here, gathering the shoulder blades on your back, softening the tops of the shoulders, spreading your fingertips, coming into a little heart opener. And so we often think of back bends, of collapsing the low back. But instead I want you to imagine that you're lifting the heart. You're using the upper back to arch yourself back. Feeling as though there's a string attached to the center of your chest that's drawing your heart skyward. As you become into this really gentle heart opener, arching back as much as feels comfortable and able for your body. The hips are drawing forward. The jaw is gently drawing down to support the weight of the head. Taking one more breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale, pressing through the feet, rising up, spreading the arms overhead. Exhale, bending through the knees, coming all the way forward into a fold. Fingers can come to the floor. This is a really handy place to bring your paper towels or blocks or anything that you have on hand to raise the floor. And allowing the head to be heavy. And to remove your props and to hug opposite elbows with opposite hands, coming into ragdoll pose. So allowing the head to be heavy, the torso just cascading out over your body, and maybe shifting side to side, front to back, shaking the head yes and no, back and forth, just letting your whole body fold forward and dangle. Breathing in. And a long, slow, deep exhale. And allowing the fingers to come touch down on your blocks or ground. And your next in-breath coming up halfway, letting your fingers gather next to your knees, your calves, your upper inner thighs. And then inhaling the shoulders up towards your ears, wrapping them back, feeling like you're creating a flat back. Gaze is looking right down at the ground. Taking one more breath here. Inhale. And as you exhale, keeping all this length in your spine, hinging at the hips to fold forward once again, bending the knees a lot or a little. Inhale, pressing to the feet, rising up, halfway lift once again. Exhaling, hands to your hips. And inhale, rising all the way back up with a long, tall, straight spine. Exhaling, hands down by your side. Inhale, pressing through the feet, rooting to rise all the way up. Fingers reach overhead. Exhale, swan diving out in front of you once again. Fingers find the blocks or the floor. Head hangs heavy. Inhale, rising up, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, bowing into yourself, honoring any tightness you feel with bending the knees a little bit more or a little bit less, letting the crown of the head be heavy. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, pressing through the feet, rising up halfway. One more time. Exhaling, hands to your hips. Inhale, pressing through the feet, rising up. And exhaling, hands down by your side. Beautiful. Moving on here. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, folding forward. Noticing what's happening in the back of your legs as you lower down. Inhale, rising up halfway. Exhale and folding. This time, inhale, bending the knees quite deeply. And only going as deep as feels okay for your body in this moment. From here, I'll invite you to reach your arms behind you, almost like you're skiing, turning the palms towards the sky and feeling the weight come more into your heels. Feeling perhaps some heat, some sensation in your legs, tuning into it, breathing into it. And as you inhale next, letting your arms float in front of you. Taking a deep breath here. And as you exhale, pressing the air away as you stand tall. Inhale, lifting through the arms, gathering your palms overhead, exhaling, palms behind your heart. Inhale, lifting through your hands, and exhale, folding all the way forward. Inhale, rising to that flat back, again using blocks or props when it feels good for your body. Exhale, unfolding, placing your hands down on the mat and stepping all the way back into the top of a push-up. And just pausing here, pressing back through your heels, hugging your arms towards the midline, drawing in with your low belly ever so gently. You're welcome to bring the knees to the ground whenever that feels that it calls to you. Honoring that, listening to that without judgment. Giving yourself permission. One more breath here. Inhale. And as you exhale, if your legs are still lifted, now draw the knees to the ground. Bending your elbows and keeping the elbows close into your ribs so belly and chest touch down at the same time. Pointing both feet and placing the tops of your feet on your mat. Hands underneath shoulders. And just pulling your chest forward into a baby cobra. Collarbones broaden, elbows hug in. Legs are engaged as we press the tops of the feet into the mat. Neck is long. Taking one more breath here. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly curl yourself down, tucking your toes, pressing onto hands and knees, reaching hips back towards heels, keeping arms lifted and hugging your biceps towards one another, spiraling them up towards the sky. You're welcome to leave knees on the mat, or if you'd like, you can peel them up and come into downward facing dog, pedaling out your feet. And then beginning to bend your knees deeply as you reach your hips towards the sky. Arms lift away from the mat, ears float between biceps, and then slowly bending or re-straightening through the legs as your heels reach towards the ground. They don't need to touch, just going in that direction. Taking a breath here, inhale, and exhale. And then inhale, walking your feet up to the front of the mat, adjusting your clothing if you need to. And as you arrive here, rising up halfway on an in-breath, exhale and folding. Inhale, sitting down low. Exhale, reaching arms behind you, palms face the sky. Inhaling, arms forward, sitting low. Exhale, pressing away the air as you stand tall. Inhale, pressing the feet, rooting to rise up through your arms. Exhale, reaching your palms behind your heart. Inhale, lifting the arms back up to the sky. Exhale, swan diving out in front of you, using props again when it calls to you. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, folding down, bending your knees a lot or a little, and drawing that left foot back long, coming into this high lunge. Get another really, really nice place for blocks. And as we come here, you're welcome to drop the knee down right away, or you can play with lifting the back of your leg towards the sky. And then finding a little bit of openness in the chest, one long line of energy from your back heel all the way out through the crown of your head, drawing that right hip slightly back as the left hip draws forward, hugging your inner thighs energetically towards one another, feeling a sense of lightness as you root down with your feet. Inhale, and as you exhale, lowering that knee if it's lifted. And then beginning to bend into that front knee as you peel your chest open. Maybe you move the blocks back a little bit. Maybe you leave the blocks alone and you want to play with drawing those arms into cactus as we were in the beginning, or maybe up overhead, or anywhere in between that feels good for your body. So a chance to check in, to notice what your body is calling for, and to give yourself permission to enter into that with intention, with presence. Taking one more breath here, inhale, and exhale. And inhale, slowly begin to straighten that front leg as we come onto our back knee, lifting those right toes with you, bringing any blocks or props with you, especially if you have tighter hamstrings. So coming into a low runner stretch, a hip opener here, or a hamstring opener here. And from here, I already feel a ton of sensation, so I'm going to pause here. If you have more openness in this area of your body, it might feel nice to bend forward more. As long as you don't crunch your upper body, that there's still length and openness. And then pausing, feeling, allowing yourself to tap into the anchor of body sensations, to be present. One more breath, inhale, and exhale. And then inhale to transition your weight back forward, bending into that front knee. Placing your hands on the mat. And inhale, lifting your left knee off the ground. And then beginning to draw that right foot back into a top of a push-up, high plank. Again, knees can come right down to the ground. Or you're welcome to hold this pose with the knees lifted, whatever your body's calling. Taking one more breath, inhale. And as you exhale, either with knees on the ground or knees lifted, slowly lowering down, elbows hugging in, belly and chest touching kind of at the same time. Pointing your toes behind you, palms underneath shoulders. Inhale, sweeping up to cobra. Exhale, floating your hands, drawing your elbows towards one another, pressing down through the tops of your feet to give your whole body that foundation to lift through the back of your heart, keeping the back of the neck long in line with the spine. One more breath, inhale, and exhale, touching down, tucking your toes, pressing through hands, knees, coming back either into supported downward dog with knees on the ground, arms lifted, or you're welcome to lift the knees off the ground as well. One breath here. Inhale and exhale. As you're ready, inhale, bending your knees, looking forward and walking your feet all the way to the front of the mat. Coming into a forward fold. And on your next inhale, rising up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to bend your knees, sitting down. Reaching the palms behind you, facing towards the sky. And then inhale, floating arms forward. Exhale, pressing everything down, rooting to rise. Inhale, pressing through the feet as we spread our arms overhead. Exhale, swan diving out in front of you, nice long spine, bending your knees a lot or a little to get here. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale and folding. Inhale, this time pressing the right foot back long, coming to the other side. And so this side might feel completely different. So coming in with this fresh perspective, letting go of what you did on the first side, and instead tuning into what you need for this side. Knee might stay lifted, knee might ground. And then from here, drawing the hips square, so that might mean drawing the left hip slightly back, the right hip forward, broadening the collarbones, softening the heart. One long line of energy from that back heel out through the crown of your head, keeping the neck long, the chin tightly tucked. One more breath, inhale, and exhale. And then inhaling, beginning to bend into that front knee, lowering your back knee on the ground as we begin to curl the chest off of our front thigh, scooping the tailbone under. And options to keep the hands grounded, to come into cactus, or maybe even you lift them overhead. All the while keeping the tops of the shoulders soft. The breath is full, deep, intentional. Taking one more breath here, inhale. And as you exhale, if arms are lifted, let them fall down. And then beginning to straighten that front leg as you bring the weight into that back knee, coming into the hamstring stretch on this side. Again, checking in. What does this side need? Maybe it needs a deeper bend in that front knee. Maybe you stay up a little taller. Maybe you bend a little bit more deeper into that left foot. Wherever you are, inhale and getting length through the spine. Exhale, softening the shoulders, the jaw. Inhale, focusing on sensations you feel in the back of that leg, anywhere else in your body that's calling. Exhale, just let it be. One more breath, inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. And then letting the weight come back into that left foot as we walk our hands up to the front of the mat. Inhale, lifting the back knee. Exhale, drawing that left foot all the way back, top of a push-up. Again, knees can stay lifted, they can stay grounded, whatever your body is calling for. Taking a full breath here, inhale. And as you exhale, lowering either one long plank if that's calling to you, or letting knees come down, belly and chest touch down, elbows staying hugged in, pressing through the tops of your feet. Inhale, curling up, cobra. Exhale, floating your hands. Inhale, lifting the feet now, pressing through the triangle of your pelvis on the ground. Again, letting the chin tuck slightly so the back of the neck is in line with the spine. And as you breathe in, letting the breath lift you a little higher. And as you exhale, feeling the exhale leave the body and gently lower you down. One more breath, inhale to lift. And exhale to lower everything down, hands underneath shoulders, tucking your toes, pressing back onto hands and knees. And maybe you come into child's pose, bringing knees out wide, big toes towards touching, head on a block or paper towels, and allowing the hips to be heavy, your mind to be soft. Taking one more breath, inhale, and exhale. And then if you want to stay there for another 5 breaths, feel free to do that. But as you're ready, crawling your hands back up to the front of the mat. Inhale, lifting your knees, downward facing dog. And then slowly making your way up to the front of the mat. Inhale, sweeping up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, bending the knees and reaching the palms behind you, palms face the sky. Inhale, floating the palms up in front of you. Exhale, pressing everything down. And inhale, lifting arms towards the sky. And exhaling hands. heart center. Coming back just where we started. Perhaps closing your eyes for a moment, tuning into pulsations, sensations, noticing if your mind is saying you didn't do enough, or it wasn't an exact way, or if you were searching for something. And just noticing without judgment whatever is there, recognizing. And we'll end with one final standing pose. So I invite you to drop your hands to your side. And beginning to shift the weight into your left foot. And then I like to place my hands on my hips for this. As you draw down with the left foot, beginning to lift the right leg up towards hip height. And then grabbing the right knee with your right hand. And this is really nice if you're next to a wall or a railing to place your hand on something for support. Now this might be just where you want to pause and touch down every now and then for balance. Working on rooting down with that standing leg as you reach out through the crown of the head. Flexing the foot. And you might play with opening that right knee just like a gate. And an option to draw the left hand to the opposite way. Allowing your gaze to settle on something still along the horizon for you. And in balancing poses, we tend to hold our breath and get tight. Instead, I'm going to invite you to breathe and invite a sense of playfulness in. That it is wobbly at times. Balance is never completely stagnant and still. It's fluid. Taking one more breath, really rooting down to extend up. And as you exhale, just the way we came in, arm returns to your hip, leg comes back to center, and gently drawing it down. And then releasing. And then coming to the other side. Letting go what you did on one side. That was just a hummingbird. I don't know if the video captured that, but I get to practice with hummingbirds here. Now shifting the weight into your right foot. And then slowly letting the hand come to your hip as the left knee comes up. This side already feels different for me, and curious how it feels for you, so just checking in with your own body. Again, might be where you play with. You might even leave a toe on the ground. If you want to play with balance, just rooting with that standing leg, growing tall out through the crown of the head. An option to open that leg like a gate, and maybe even the right hand opens up. And then expanding where you can. Playing where you can. Breathing where you can. And then when it feels complete for you, inhaling. And as you exhaling, slowly bringing everything back through center. Allowing that left foot to find the ground. Finding your steady foundation. Perhaps letting your eyes close once again. And if it calls to you to bring your hands to heart center, I invite you to do that. For whatever reason brought you to the mat today, I invite you to acknowledge whatever it was you came looking for, a break, a pause, some peace, some focus, and that it doesn't have to end here. To allow that to be an intention that carries with you into your next moments. So perhaps you want to bring a word or phrase with you as we close out. And if none calls to you, know that that's okay as well. I invite you to say a silent thank you to yourself. And taking one more deep breath together, inhaling, letting it out with an open mouth sigh. And opening your eyes. And from my heart to yours, I thank you. Until next time, have a good one.